Please welcome the president of the University of Southern California, Dr. Carol Folt.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Dean Stoney and Kendall. Let's give another wonderful round of applause for that amazing singing of the national anthem. Woo. Hey, welcome to the 2023 commencement at the University of Southern California. It is a perfect day to celebrate the world's most historic academic pageant, graduation. Just look around, it is so colorful. Across campus, you'll see pink trumpet trees, evergreen pear trees with small white flowers, and glorious Cape myrtle trees with frilly blooms in pink, purple, red, and white. And then, what about all the people here, sparkling in cardinal and gold with sashes and medals? Hey, students, your fit is fly. To our soon-to-be graduates, congratulations. Your years of study and mastery culminate today with the conferring of something very special, something very precious, your USC degree. It is your moment, or will be soon, in the sun, literally. And to our wonderful platform party, and our faculty, our staff, and our guests, this is your day too. We thank you for leading with character and distinction, for caring and supporting these amazing graduates, and for keeping the historic traditions of scholarship, enlightenment, educational opportunity alive in our nation. Southern California is blooming too, but not just with the perennial beauty and freshness of springtime. We are in the middle of an epic super bloom. Now, California's fields of scarlet and purple and pink are so vivid and extensive that they can be seen from space. In her evocative poem titled Perpetual Spring, LA writer and former USC creative writing professor Amy Gersler celebrates the enduring power of nature to bring us together around hope and healing. And she writes, "Suddenly the archetypal human desire for peace with every other species wells up in you. The lion and the lamb cuddling up, the snake and the snail kissing, even the prick of the thistle, the queen of the weeds, revives your secret belief in perpetual spring, your faith that for every hurt there is a leaf to cure it." Well, here we are in a moment of perpetual spring, and even more, a blockbuster super bloom. Now, as you probably know, super blooms are intermittent. They're usually spaced about a decade apart, but this one is truly special because of the unprecedented conditions that occurred since the last one, just 4 years ago. So that is a wonderful coincidence because the last 4 years have been anything but normal. And yet, here you are. So I hope you're going to smile with the biologist in me when I say that I see you as a stunning super bloom. You matured in times both sweet and difficult, and you're facing this day burnished with achievement and promise. Now, I feel a very special connection with all of you because I started my own journey here in 2019, as many of you did. And I think I felt like you felt, filled with Trojan spirit, a bit nervous, and really raring to get going. While we were all getting oriented to our new lives, though, the nation was gearing up for a tumultuous presidential election. We were worrying about the government closing. We were wowing over the first images of a black hole in space. And we were crying at the end of Avengers Endgame. I'm talking about you, Kevin Feige. But then But then, in a snap of the fingers, the world changed. A major pandemic swept the globe. Our democracy came under assault. Cities, including ours, rocked with unrest. War broke out in Europe. And universities reeled. Stay, go, open, close. It was wild, it was frightening, and for so many, it was tragic. But that isn't the whole story of the last 4 years either. It was also a time of extraordinary progress and fortitude and surely innovation. So just consider this. The COVID vaccine was developed and put into arms in record time due to scientists, including some here at USC. Investments in AI and Web3 more than tripled between 2018 and 21, and listen to this, 90% of all digital data was created in just the last 2 years. Ways of thinking, learning, working changed radically everywhere. Right here at USC, Kaufman students held virtual dance classes for elementary school kids. Thornton musicians recorded messages and songs for Keck Medicine frontline angels. And our incredible athletes competed in empty stadiums after being COVID tested almost daily for months. And of course, who can forget the adorable disinfection robot, Laser D, created by the Viterbi graduate students? As I marvel at the distance we've traveled together, I'm reminded of the power of the unexpected, of nature's capricious turns, and how events outside our control alter our best laid plans. One of my closest friends in grad school lost a couple years' work when a windstorm blew away the carefully constructed plots he'd made to follow the growth of individual seedlings in a fragile, protected wetland. For me, it was when I pulled up next to a small reservoir in New Hampshire in my orange pickup, carrying my waders and my sampling gear, only to find the reservoir completely dry. And with it, my experiments and my measurements of years. Poof, completely gone. Turns out it was an act of vandalism that overnight resulted in the draining of the lake into the Connecticut River. The Dalai Lama reminds us that sometimes getting what you want, getting what you want, is a wonderful stroke of luck. As I sat on a hill looking over that empty, muddy lake bottom, I found myself thinking of the natural cycles of water, the lakes and streams that dry and then refill over millennium, and I found my way back. Ultimately, I decided to study the rebirth of that little ecosystem, which was quite wonderful in the end. These unexpected times have in many ways been transformational for USC, and you all have been a crucial part of that. You led the way to expand and improve USC's cultural centers. You kept sustainability front and center by helping to develop the Sustainability Course Finder, pushing to accelerate our disinvestment from fossil fuel, and launching Assignment Earth. In spring 2021, the USC Black Student Assembly started Trojan Shop Local to support small businesses around USC. And today, that network includes over 90 diverse coffee houses, bookstores, and boutiques across the city. And some of you pushed even further all the way into the cosmos. In the case of One Price Student, to begin planning the urban future of life in space. Now that's planning ahead. In another case, many of you designed, built, and launched the first student rocket that passed the boundary between Earth's atmosphere and space anywhere. It has been such a privilege to watch you and entire class glow up. Now, there won't be a 4-year period in life when you won't feel the prick of the thistle, as in the Gerstler poem. But those times prepare you for what's ahead. Discomfort with ideas, lack of certainty are critical to learning. Turmoil and hardship often spur the greatest innovation. Over the last 4 years, you've learned that, every one of those pricks of the thistle, and you've made choices about what's truly important. Friends and family, strong values, resiliency, compassion. And I also hope that you learn to feel deep, deep gratitude for the privilege of being here, a part of this special place, for the faculty and staff, for your coaches and your mentors, and for the amazing Trojan family. Now, someone once called USC the new multi-university, and I think that perfectly captures what we are. And last year, when you returned in person, you were unstoppable. You weren't going to waste a second before diving into opportunities in our very own multiverse. And you became the pioneers of the new. You're explorers, influencers, you're questioners, you're impatient, you're changers, and you are includers. You're already looking for new cures, starting new businesses like Student Capital DAO, Pickle, and Remedy. You're fighting for social justice and change across society. You are singing and dancing and creating new media. You're curating museum exhibitions, and you are broadcasting during elections. You even brought mariachi back to USC after 30 years and won a huge number of athletic championships and so many other awards. And you started the Trojans Esports League in 2019. And USC already has top-ranked, as you might expect, teams in Riot's League of Legends, Valorant, Super Smash Bros., and more. Seriously, how many presidents get to say that in their commencement speech? 5 of you are even joining the newest branch of the U.S. Armed Forces, the U.S. Space Force. I call you the graduates of Everything Everywhere All at Once after that fascinating film that just won Oscars for the Best Picture and for USC Cinematic Arts alum Ke Huy Quan. You know, life is changing at warp speed, but you've got this. Rely on yourself and your USC education. Continue to quest, to test, see things from various perspectives, accept when you're wrong, and pick yourself up when you've fallen. Now, before we get about the real business of the day, I'm going to leave you with 3 quick thoughts. First, whatever path you choose, please keep service in your life. You have great privilege, and that demands service to a greater good. Second, take a personal interest in protecting our democracy. AI, social media, deep fakes, and more are sowing public doubt and mistrust on a new level, a level we've never seen. You know, I think back to the beautiful Gerstler poem and this wonderful idea, the human desire of peace among all creatures, the image of a lion and a lamb cuddling up, and a snake and a snail kissing. It feels like we may never get to that point in our politics today, but we have to be the ones that keep pushing for civil discourse, for compromise, for empathy, and working together. And finally, I have to say it, you have to remember to slow down, take a breath, show that compassion you feel, and truly let humility and gratitude be your guide. You have absolutely learned the power of friendship. You know the warmth and the security of communities, especially those you've helped build, and you are going to return to them throughout your life. But you're also ready, absolutely, to go out on your own, just like Walt Whitman's Song of the Open Road. It says, I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. Strong and content, I travel the open road. And with that, let's get on with your graduation.